Sahel region. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Pakistan for his statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Denmark.
Mr. President, Denmark voted in favor of extending the mandate of MINURSO. We have done so in recognition of MINURSO's important role and the 12-month extension. The Secretary-General has emphasized how nearly 5 years have elapsed since the resumption of hostilities, which continues to expose an increasing risk of escalation and to detract from the stability in the broader Maghreb region. Reliable monitoring, investigation, and independent reporting is much needed in this context. To that end, MINURSO plays an important role. As we work to revive the political process, which has been frozen for far too long, MINURSO's presence on the ground also serves as a critical enabler in support of the personal envoy's mediation efforts. Mr. President, let me reaffirm our full support for the United Nations-led process and the Secretary-General's personal envoy for the Western Sahara, Mr. de Mistura, and his efforts to reach a peaceful and mutually acceptable solution to the conflict in accordance with the UN Security Council resolutions. Denmark, in this regard, considers the autonomy plan presented by Morocco in 2007 as a serious and credible contribution to the UN process and as a good basis for a solution agreed upon between the parties. Our vote in favor of today's resolution does not constitute a recognition of Moroccan sovereignty over Western Sahara, as any solution should be agreed among the parties in accordance with the UN Charter and principles, including the right to self-determination. We wish to thank the penholder of the resolution for the flexibility shown in the negotiation process, albeit the presented parameters for the political process could have been even more balanced. We also wish to thank all those engaged in trying to resolve this conflict for their efforts. We urge the parties to the conflict to engage constructively and in good faith in the negotiations with a view to achieving a mutually accepted solution. Now, we must spare no effort in our pursuit of a peaceful resolution to the conflict. After 50 years of suffering and division, this is not only necessary, it is long overdue. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Denmark for her statement. I'll now give the floor to the representative of Guyana.
Thank you, Mr. President. Guyana welcomes the renewal of MINURSO's mandate for an additional year. MINURSO's continued presence is critical to preserving peace and stability in Western Sahara and preventing further escalation of hostilities. The mission's monitoring, investigating, and liaison with the parties also makes it the main source of impartial information for the UN, the Secretary-General, and the Security Council on developments in and related to the territory. Its stabilizing presence is needed at this crucial time in the political process. Guyana also emphasizes the importance of the parties respecting the ceasefire, as stated in the resolution just adopted. We thank the United States for the transparent conduct of the negotiations and their efforts to improve the text, and indeed to move the political process forward. Guyana hopes that, following the adoption of this resolution, the two sides would show the necessary good faith in the negotiations and cooperate fully with the Secretary-General, his personal envoy, MINURSO, and with each other, and demonstrate the necessary political will towards achieving a just, lasting, and mutually acceptable political settlement, one that provides for the self-determination of the people of Western Sahara. We express our full support to the Secretary-General and his personal envoy in facilitating engagements with the two parties and encourage neighboring and other interested countries to provide constructive support. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Guyana for her statement and now give the floor to the representative of France.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, France welcomes the adoption of the resolution which renews for 12 months the mandate of MINURSO. This resolution is the result of an open process which allowed for numerous contacts with members of this council, and we thank the U.S. penholder for the efforts they made toward a balanced text that takes into account requests made by various delegations. Now, given the prolonged nature of the conflict in Western Sahara and its consequences on the population, today the Council has decided to act. It gives a clear mandate to the Personal Envoy, Mr. Staffan de Mistura, whom we thank for the efforts he has made, a clear mandate to revive an inclusive political process. With the support of the Security Council, we call on all parties to engage now in negotiations so as to write a new chapter for the Western Sahara and for the entire region. And this chapter must meet the legitimate aspirations of the populations of the people to live in peace. Mr. President, for France, the present and future of Western Sahara lie within the framework of Moroccan sovereignty. Our support for the autonomy under Moroccan sovereignty proposed in 2007 is clear and unwavering. Autonomy under Moroccan sovereignty is the only framework to arrive at a political solution which is just, lasting, and negotiated in accordance with the resolutions passed by this Council. An international consensus is also increasingly broad in this direction. It is important for the Council to seize this momentum, as it now does with this resolution, and this is a collective success. France believes that a mutually acceptable political solution is possible. The political momentum is there. It is now time to move forward with it, and that is why the Personal Envoy is called upon to bring together all parties very soon with a view to reaching a definitive settlement of the conflict, and we offer him again our full support. Through this resolution, the Council endorses a new approach which, under the auspices of the United Nations and abiding by the principles of the Charter, will allow the parties to engage in a new effort towards peace, and we urge them to seize this opportunity resolutely. And finally, thanks to the resolution we have just adopted, MINURSO, whose work we welcome, will be able to continue playing a key role in the stability of the region. And on the ground, France calls for a cessation of hostilities and a full return to respect of the ceasefire, as we must not forget the risks that the conflict poses to the populations. The strategic review requested by the Council is a useful tool to structure discussions on the future of MINURSO, and that future will be determined by progress towards political solution, which we all very much hope for. Mr. President, this resolution outlines a horizon of peace. Let us support the Personal Envoy and the parties so that with courage and determination they may together launch negotiations that will end a conflict that has lasted far too long for the benefit of the populations and countries of the region. I thank you. I thank the representative of France for his statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Panama.
Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to thank the United States as the penholder of this resolution for their efforts in advancing the political process and for your flexible position during the drafting of the resolution, trying as far as you could to recognize